This video is based on publicly available information and ongoing court proceedings. All individuals are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But before we get into today's story, if you find value in these breakdowns, please consider liking the video, subscribing and sharing it. It really helps the channel grow and allows more people to stay informed on important cases like this. Someone died in his place. He vanished from prison. And now he says it wasn't an escape. On the 1st of April 2026, the court delivered its decision to deny Thabo Bester's bid to be reclassified as an awaiting trial detainee. But what shocked many wasn't just the ruling, it was the claim that he was on holiday in Tanzania. The Gauteng Division of High Court of South Africa has dismissed Thabo Bester's application to be reclassified as an awaiting trial detainee. This follows his court appearance in late March 2026, where he represented himself and claimed his rights were being violated.
And a trial court needs to then make a decision. But in their papers, they argue that I have the burden of proof. I cannot hold the burden of proof when the person opens a case of escape from lawful custody, because the reason why we are having a challenge of this matter is because the challenge is based on the warrant of sentence. That warrant of sentence, Your Honor, is purely stipulated clearly that a person that is sentenced in correctional services must have a warrant. And when the person escapes, he doesn't escape from a building. He escapes from the warrant. That warrant is the challenge. Now, we don't know. They say that the warrant is valid. But only a court can make that's determination. Now, they're making determinations and classifying me. And if they put me as an accused person in detention, they do not lose anything. There's no harm that will be caused to the respondents. I will still be in their custody. I'll still go to court. I'll still defend myself. But it will be in a fair manner that is within constitutional rights of everyone. And that is all I am asking of this court, to take consideration that the presumption of innocence is a fundamental right that all are bound to go unto. But the respondents argue wrongfully that the burden of proof and the presumption of innocence do not apply to me because of the fact that I'm convicted. So basically what they're arguing is that because I'm convicted of rape and murder, which is a challenge in a different court, they feel that I have no right, that I cannot defend myself in this manner, that the warrants are an absolute. There is no warrant in the world that is an absolute, Your Honor. A warrant may be amended through the Correctional Service Act, through the executive power, through an application through the court. So there are many ways that one can actually not serve a full life sentence or 10 years of a sentence. There are many executive decisions that could be made. And if those decisions are made, you cannot hold me to ransom on the basis that you accuse me of violating. You must give me an opportunity to ventilate my case. And in this application, the center and the core of my argument is that I'm not able to be treated as a normal inmate, being given normal treatment. I am treated highly. All these people that I come in here, in security, it's based on escape. I have no violence. In the 15 years they claim that I've been in prison, there's no case against me. There's nothing against me. In the time that I was outside, I violated no one. Your Honor, I will bring it to this court attention that escape, it is a charge under the Correctional Service Act. And the Correctional Service Act charges me with escape, then makes a decision, and after making a decision, take me to court for the same matter. Now, technically, that means that the legislation itself, when you're dealing with what correctional services conduct is, they have supreme power over the Constitution and over my rights because they can act and do as they please. Currently, I'm in solitary confinement. They refuse to take me out because they say that I should finish my trial in Bloemfontein. But that trial can continue for 10 years. And at the time I reach the trial, I might not be fit to stand trial. I will also say that the respondents are a direct interest to the trial in Bloemfontein. They have to prove that I'm guilty. And I am in their custody. That is sort of like taking a person that has violated someone and say that stay with the person that you violated. They're not going to treat you fair. They're not going to treat you with dignity. I am treated for this. I am the longest serving person after Robert Sibukwe in solitary confinement. I live in CMAX, not for everyone. I live solitary by myself. I see no human being. for the past 3 years. And that is purely based on an accusation. There's no facts. I have not defended myself. And the respondents stand on the ground that I was sentenced. I do not challenge that I was sentenced. But I challenge the validness of that warrant. And I challenge it in the Bloemfontein court, not in this court. This court is to challenge, do I not have presumption of innocence? And do I not qualify to be innocent until proven guilty? The responsibility to prove beyond reasonable doubt is with the respondent and the state that I am guilty. And that has not been proven, but I have been treated as such. There are even judges that have made accusations to say that I am guilty of escape in transfer applications. Now you question yourself that would there be a fair trial in the circumstances? And do we say that because I'm convicted of rape and murder, I don't deserve a fair trial? I don't deserve a fair proceeding as required and guaranteed by the Constitution? Because that is the actual challenge here. The challenge is not that the respondents can put me in prison. I have no challenge in being in prison. But the challenge I just want an opportunity to state my facts. And in that process, be able to argue. Because my medical file has been attached here in this court by the state. But they only chose, and I don't have access. They do not want to give me an opportunity to make copies of that medical file and be able to give it to this court. But the court would see that since I have arrived from the 13th till today, I've lost 36 Ks in solitary confinement. I speak to no one. I only see people when I'm here. And it's overwhelming. But you have to chin up. Because at the end of the day, if you don't stand up for yourself in this country, politicians are going to run over you. And that's what I need to do. And I do this with humble respect to this court. Asking the court to look at the center of my urgency based on humanity. Based on the fact that I've been in solitary confinement and the correctional services have a responsibility in Section 2 to enforce programs of development and rehabilitation. Seems like I don't qualify for rehabilitation. Based on what? An allegation again. Because there's nothing else they can argue that I have done. Based purely that Thabo Bester has escaped. And that is the center of my argument, Your Honor, that I would like the court to look at. And also, in the proceedings and the process that was followed, to take a person from an airport and put them in prison as an administrator without any findings, without any ruling by any court, by taking any tribunal action, it cannot be correct. Because then it means our Constitution is giving correctional service absolute power above all rights.
Before all of this, Bester was already a convicted criminal. In 2012, he was convicted of rape and murder after luring a young woman with promises of a business opportunity. He became known as the Facebook rapist, using social media to target victims. He has also faced fraud and theft-related charges linked to scams he allegedly ran. In court, Bester argued that correctional services had already treated him as guilty of escaping prison, even though his escape-related trial has not yet begun. He insisted that his case was not a typical escape. According to him, he had been out of custody for a long time, and only later did authorities decide to call it an escape. Then, the statement that shocked everyone is when he mentioned that he was simply on holiday in Tanzania.
Thabo,
Hello.
what did you want to tell Parliament's ad hoc committee?
I have certain evidence about certain executives right now, and they don't want me because they escaped. That it will cause drama. So we did state what reasons we wanted to leave.
Can you tell us what you were doing in Tanzania?
I was on holiday.
You were on holiday?
Yeah.
To understand the seriousness of this case, we go back to the 3rd of May 2022 at Mangaung Correctional Centre. A fire broke out in Bester's prison cell. A charred body was found, believed at the time to be him, but later investigations revealed the truth. The body was identified as Katlego Bereng. This discovery shocked the nation, revealing that another man had died, allegedly used in the plan to fake Bester's death. For months, Bester was believed to be dead. But in March 2023, the truth came out. He had escaped. Then in April 2023, He was arrested in Tanzania, and he was not alone. He was arrested alongside his partner Nandi Pamagudumani, who is accused of helping him plan and carry out the escape. Their alleged involvement has raised even more questions about how such a complex plan was executed. And on the 1st of April 2026, the court ruled that his application had no merit. The state had already described his claims as baseless, and the judges agreed. Bester remains a sentenced prisoner held at the Mangaung Correctional Centre. He continues to face multiple charges related to his escape, along with others accused of assisting him. This case continues to raise serious questions because at the center of it all is Thabo Bester, a man who didn't just escape prison but allegedly managed to do it in a highly coordinated and well-resourced way. And that leads to the biggest question yet. How does a prisoner still manage to build such strong connections on the outside? And who had access to help him plan and execute something like this? And most importantly, where did the money come from to make it all possible? Because escapes like this don't just happen by chance, they require influence, planning, and resources. So the real question is, was this really just one man's operation? Or was there a bigger network involved behind the scenes? And if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time and support. Stay informed, stay aware, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.